I'm the Associate Dean for Teaching and Learning and a Professor of Clinical Pharmacy here at UCSF. The key skills for pharmacists on the cutting edge, regardless of where they are today, have to do with having strong scientific principles, good critical thinking, reasoning, and problem-solving skills, and then being able to communicate that information to patients, other health providers, perhaps managed care plans, government systems, etc.
I would ask students not to hesitate to ask why they're learning something, because we should always have an answer.
You know, I'll be honest, I really see it not as a quantity that's important. You know, there's not some minimum level. If you take these basic sciences courses, you'll automatically be a better pharmacist. It's really more about the quality and the fit.
Even if the answer is, it is, 6 steps down the road is where you will apply this, as opposed to you will apply this tomorrow, there always needs to be a rationale for at some point why this is going to be important. Now, sometimes the rationale is that we want you to think about new things, think about things in a different way. But I think we need to make it clear when what we're trying to do is sort of inspire you and broaden your thinking versus providing you building blocks for your potential career and practice.
Critical illness in general uses a lot of physiology in terms of hemodynamics. So a lot of adrenergic receptor physiology, drug actions on those receptors.
The real basics that you go over, probably the first lecture of neuroanatomy, is what goes on to the synapse. And in my case, in using antidepressants, I have to counsel patients about how these medications work.
I mean, I use it every day. Without physiology, there's no pharmacy practice.
Genetics. So being in pediatric oncology, bone marrow transplant, we determine a lot of initial dosing based on a patient's genetics. That might be tumor genetics, it might be drug metabolizing enzyme genetics, and sometimes then our course of therapy is often determined lengthwise by reevaluating genetics.
You need to know your chemistry in order to really assess how this drug going to work, how it's going to be eliminated, are there factors that's going to influence how the drug normally passes through the body.
Pharmacists don't necessarily realize how much more preparation they have in these areas than physicians do.
So I ended up going into bone marrow transplant where a good majority of the drugs that we're using are basically to modulate the immune system.
Pharmacists need to understand what different levels of immune compromise, what different levels of immune system functioning mean for a patient and mean for their prognosis.
In working with learners, they've identified for us that the 3 key characteristics are relevance, integration. Third is finally engagement.
I think that would be ideal, to be able to incorporate some kind of clinical aspects to the basic science courses, because I think it then really helps the students understand what is the importance of the basic science.
We still need to do a better job of making sure that the perspective that the teachers are bringing to these courses is influenced by what pharmacists are doing on a daily basis.
If it's integrated with either examples of toxicity or examples of efficacy versus a patient not responding, those types of things from the get-go, I think that would improve things a lot.
Nothing occurs in silos in the body, so not learning it in silos either, I think, is probably the best way to go.
The thing we could improve in our curriculum is to collaborate between clinical faculty and basic science faculty. Students can learn about, can apply their basic science principles to patient care while they are taking those courses.
In some cases, the basic scientists who tend to be teaching these courses come from a different perspective. So it's important for us to come together with clinical pharmacy and for the basic scientists and talk about what are the things that are really fundamental and that everybody should know. What are the things that are going to be applied in the clinic and that you should know? And then what are the sort of things that are interesting, but maybe, for the sake of space in people's brains, are something that they should be pursuing if, for example, they're interested in specializing.
Not a day goes by when I don't get the UCSF update on my computer that talks about some amazing scientific discovery that's going on here at UCSF. So how do we bring those discoveries that are sort of out there on the web, happening in labs, happening in clinics, and bring that into the classroom as well, so that we make sure our students see that and can really be excited about the engagement and the connection to cutting edge research here at UCSF.
Even today, I need to constantly update myself on the basic science and the immunology and the physiology because the new therapies are coming out and new discoveries are being made all the time, and so there's a need to constantly keep up with the information that's coming out.
While healthcare has changed, our basic instructional methods haven't changed, and we have a chance. The window is open for us to really revitalize the way we educate and train healthcare providers. Today's learner is engaged. They are looking at, working as a team, holding themselves accountable, but they have a really high bar for what their expectations are. And we want to be able to take advantage of the talent in that room by doing something truly unique. We definitely want to hold hands and do this together. What we can achieve by working together is certainly much greater and potentially much more enjoyable than what we would be able to do on our own. For different people, it will be sort of stepping out of a comfort zone and making a connection with a fellow faculty member. If we get the right people in the room at the table and we have an open and honest discussion, absolutely the sky's the limit. It's a really great time to be at UCSF. It's a really interesting time to be here in the School of Pharmacy, and I look forward to working together with all the faculty, staff, and students, helping us take it to the next level.